Imagine a life where anger no longer controls you, where you can respond to any challenge with a calm and steady mind, completely unshaken. Picture the power of staying collected and centered, even in the face of criticism, misunderstandings, or stressful situations. How freeing would that feel? Today, we're diving into 7 transformative Buddhist-inspired lessons that will help you master the art of controlling your anger instantly and finding lasting inner peace. As Buddha wisely taught, you will not be punished for your anger, you will be punished by your anger. Holding on to anger is like clutching onto a hot coal, it only burns you. Let's dive into these powerful lessons and discover how to finally let go of this burden together. Lesson 1. Recognize the source of your anger. Anger often arises when we feel hurt, threatened, or misunderstood, but in the heat of the moment, we seldom stop to question where this feeling is coming from. When anger strikes, it can feel overpowering, but the real strength lies in pausing and asking yourself, why am I truly angry? Take a few seconds to check in with yourself. Are you upset because of a personal boundary being crossed, a feeling of disrespect, or perhaps a deeper, unresolved issue? Many times our anger is rooted in past experiences or accumulated frustrations that have nothing to do with the current situation. By identifying the source, you bring clarity to your emotions. This step is powerful because it allows you to separate the current trigger from past pain. Once you've named the source, you're in a better position to respond with intention rather than react impulsively. This awareness, this mindful pause, can shift your entire perspective and reduce the intensity of your anger, bringing you closer to peace. 2. Breathe deeply to release tension. When we're angry, our body tightens, our muscles contract, and our breathing becomes shallow and quick. It's a physical manifestation of our mental state. Deep breathing, however, has the power to counteract these effects by signaling to the body that it's time to calm down. The practice of deep breathing is simple yet effective. Inhale deeply through your nose, let your belly expand. Hold the breath for a moment, and then slowly exhale through your mouth. This might sound basic, but deep breathing is one of the most effective tools for controlling anger. When you breathe deeply, you bring more oxygen into your body and brain, which helps you think clearly and remain calm. Imagine each breath as washing away a layer of your anger, creating space for calm and balance. Practicing deep breathing not only soothes your physical symptoms, but also gives you something to focus on, creating a moment of pause and preventing a reaction you might later regret. Try 3 to 5 rounds of deep breathing, and you'll notice a remarkable difference in how grounded and centered you feel. 3. Mentally step outside the situation. In moments of anger, it's easy to become so absorbed in our feelings that we forget the bigger picture. But stepping outside yourself, even just in your mind, can be a powerful tool for control. Visualize yourself watching the situation as an outsider would, almost like viewing a scene in a movie. Imagine observing the interaction between you and the other person from a neutral perspective. This approach allows you to separate yourself from the heat of the moment and gain some clarity. When you're in an intense situation, ask yourself, how would I want this character, myself, to react? Think about how the most composed, wise version of yourself would respond. This exercise doesn't mean you're avoiding your emotions, but rather that you're reframing the experience to see it from a wider perspective. Stepping outside of the situation can help you recognize that what feels so intense in the moment might not have long-term importance. This shift in perspective helps reduce the grip that anger has on you, making it easier to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. 4. transform anger into compassion. A core teaching in Buddhism is to meet anger with compassion, especially when directed at another person. Anger often comes from hurt or misunderstanding, but people who lash out are often suffering themselves. When you feel anger rising, take a moment to reflect on what the other person might be going through. Ask yourself, what might they be experiencing that led them to behave this way? This simple question can shift your perspective and ignite compassion within you. Of course, this doesn't mean you're condoning poor behavior, but by choosing compassion, you reduce the emotional burden anger places on you. Imagine that person as someone who is also dealing with pain, stress, or challenges, just as you are. When you try to see them in this light, your anger transforms into understanding, and your body relaxes. Compassion doesn't just benefit them, it frees you from anger's grip. So, in moments of conflict, try to view others with an open heart. This compassionate approach allows you to handle situations with more ease and maintain inner peace. Anger is a powerful emotion that brings with it a lot of energy. It's almost like having a fire inside that's burning strongly, urging you to take action. But if this energy is left uncontrolled or bottled up, it can end up hurting you and others around you. When you're angry, it's easy to feel like you want to explode, say things you don't mean, or act in ways you'll later regret. But the good news is that this energy can be redirected towards something positive and helpful for you. Think of anger as a fuel source that, when used wisely, can bring about change, growth, and improvement in your life. One of the most immediate and effective ways to channel anger is through physical activity. Physical activities, such as going for a brisk walk, hitting the gym, or even simply running in place, allow you to physically release the energy that has built up in your body. These activities help your mind calm down by focusing on the movement and exertion, giving you a way to release tension and frustration. Not only does exercise help you feel better physically, but it also releases endorphins, chemicals in your brain that make you feel happier and more relaxed. Cleaning up your space can have a similar effect. By putting your energy into tidying up, you're directing your mind to something productive and creating a cleaner, more organized environment. This activity can give you a sense of control and accomplishment, especially when everything feels chaotic. Writing down your thoughts is another powerful way to handle anger constructively. Journaling, for example, allows you to put all your feelings onto paper. You can be as honest and open as you want, without worrying about anyone else's reactions. Think of it as a safe space where you can express yourself fully. Sometimes, just seeing your thoughts written out can help you understand what's really making you angry and can give you new insights into the situation. Plus, writing helps your mind slow down and process your emotions in a more controlled way. Some people also find that creative activities like painting, drawing, or playing music are great ways to redirect their anger. These outlets allow you to express what you're feeling in a way that's meaningful to you. When you're creating something, whether it's a drawing, a piece of music, or even a quick sketch, you're putting your feelings into a form that others might understand. This process can be incredibly satisfying and even healing because it turns anger into something beautiful or constructive. Redirecting your energy like this gives anger a purpose. Rather than allowing it to cause harm, you're using it to benefit yourself. And afterward, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment and control, knowing you turned a potentially harmful emotion into something positive. The key here is to find an activity that feels natural for you, something you enjoy, and that provides relief without causing harm. By finding a healthy outlet, you'll be better prepared to handle anger the next time it arises. Lesson 6. Focus on what you can control. Let go of the rest. One of the biggest reasons we get caught up in anger is our desire to control everything. How people act, what they say, and how situations unfold. When things don't go our way, or when people do things that hurt or annoy us, we feel a surge of frustration, resentment, and helplessness. But there's a powerful truth that Buddhist teachings remind us of. We simply can't control everything. The actions of others, unforeseen setbacks, even the traffic on the road. These are all beyond our control. What we can control, however, is how we respond. Think of life as a river with a flow all its own. You don't control the river's direction, but you have complete power over how you navigate it. Fighting against the flow, insisting on changing what cannot be changed, only exhausts us, intensifying our feelings of anger and resentment. However, when we accept the river's flow, focusing on steering our own boat instead, we experience less resistance and a greater sense of peace. Accepting what we can't control, be it the behaviors of others or the uncontrollable aspects of life, actually frees us from unnecessary suffering. This shift in mindset allows you to redirect your energy to what matters most, managing your own mind. Practicing this is freeing, though it requires conscious effort. When faced with an irritating situation, ask yourself, what can I truly control here? Often the answer is simply your reaction. If someone's rude, rather than allowing anger to flare up, you can take a deep breath and remind yourself that while their behavior is out of your hands, your response isn't. Responding with calm or even choosing to walk away is a choice that strengthens you and leaves you feeling empowered, not controlled by anger. This principle doesn't mean passively accepting mistreatment. Instead, it encourages you to stay grounded and respond with intention, choosing actions that protect your peace. Each frustrating situation then becomes an opportunity to practice calmness and self-control. The more you focus on your own reactions, the less outside events can disturb your peace. Over time, situations that once made you angry or upset won't affect you the same way, because you've built the inner strength to stay calm. Letting go of control also helps improve your relationships a lot. When you stop trying to change others, you make room for patience and kindness, which lowers conflict and increases understanding. It's like taking a weight off your shoulders. You don't feel responsible for how others behave, only for how you respond. This helps you stay calm and work on being your best self, no matter what's happening around you. Remember, letting go doesn't mean giving up or quitting. It means protecting your peace and knowing that real power comes from self-control, not from trying to control others. Each time you do this, you build emotional strength, showing yourself that your peace doesn't depend on what anyone else says or does. Just imagine the calm and power you'd feel if you faced life knowing that nothing outside you could shake your peace. By focusing on what you can control, you free yourself from stress and open the door to live with clarity, strength, and peace. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful things you can do to let go of anger and take back your peace. Holding on to anger or resentment is like carrying a heavy load that only weighs you down. Even if we feel our anger is justified, holding on to it keeps us stuck in the past and drains our energy. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean you approve of what someone did or forget what happened. It's a personal choice to let go of the pain they caused, to release the hold that anger has on your heart, and to value your peace of mind more than the need for revenge or justice. Think of each moment of anger, bitterness, or grudges as a heavy stone in a backpack. Over time, the weight adds up, making it harder for you to move forward. When you choose to forgive, you decide to put that weight down and ease your journey. Forgiveness isn't always something you do for others. It's a gift you give yourself. It's a way of saying, I won't let this person's actions control how I feel or disturb my peace anymore. When you forgive, you take back the power that anger and pain had over you and free yourself from the negativity connected to the past. Practicing forgiveness can also bring positive change to your life. By letting go of grudges, you make room for more kindness, patience, and understanding in your relationships. When you're no longer weighed down by past pain, you become more open to new connections and less guarded in how you relate to others. You can meet people and situations with an open heart, which not only deepens your relationships, but also brings more peace and happiness. Remember, forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to stay connected with those who hurt you. Instead, it means you're no longer holding on to bitterness toward them in your mind. It's a way to protect yourself from the emotional harm that resentment can cause. If forgiveness feels hard, it can help to begin with small steps of letting go. Try forgiving minor offenses first and slowly build up to the bigger ones. Each time you forgive, take a moment to notice how it feels in your body and your emotions. See if you feel lighter, calmer, and more present in the moment. True forgiveness feels like lifting a weight off your shoulders. You're no longer tied to painful memories. It's important to remember that forgiveness is a journey. Some days, it may feel like you've let it go, but on other days, old feelings might come back. That's completely normal. Forgiveness is usually not a one-time thing, but an ongoing practice that takes time and effort. Think of it like caring for a garden. Each time you forgive, you're removing a weed that could otherwise block the positive growth in your life. With time, your inner world becomes a place filled with peace and acceptance instead of anger and bitterness. When you choose to forgive, you're making a clear choice to live in the present instead of letting past pain shape your future. Anger and resentment only keep you stuck in old wounds, stopping you from fully feeling joy, love, and fulfillment. By forgiving, you free yourself and allow yourself to move ahead without the emotional weight of past hurts. Just imagine how powerful it feels to know you can choose peace, no matter what others have done. This doesn't mean you're excusing anyone's behavior. It simply means you care about your own well-being enough to let go of what no longer helps you. Forgiveness is a form of self-kindness. It's a promise to support your own healing and inner calm. When you release anger and resentment, you make space for fresh experiences, new connections, and a stronger sense of who you are. You become someone shaped not by past pain, but by the strength and growth you've found in the present. So when you feel anger rising, remind yourself of the power of forgiveness and choose to free yourself from the weight of resentment. This choice is one of the most freeing and empowering things you can do for yourself, helping you move ahead with clarity, strength, and peace. Anger is a normal human emotion, but it doesn't have to take control of us. By applying these 7 powerful lessons, you can learn to handle any situation with calm and strength. Picture a life where peace is your natural state and anger no longer has a hold on you. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights on finding inner peace and mastering your emotions. Thank you for watching, and always remember, peace is within your reach if you choose it.